YouTubers, it's Byredlipblonde doing another video 3 on the truth-speaking words of Marilyn Monroe through the Spirit. She's given me many words. I connected to the Holy Ghost to ask Marilyn to speak the truth, and we all want to know the truth. And she's given me many, many words, phrases, numbers, places that I'm not aware of. But then I did the research to find out the meanings of them, and it's taken me on a path and a story that you won't believe. And some are just fun information I never knew, and a lot of it is very serious. So let's continue right away. Okay, here's some of the words I wrote down through the Spirit over the last few days. Marilyn Monroe, and all these names are connected to her in some way, and none of them have missed. Every one has to do with Marilyn Monroe. And this is something I researched. I'm not a psychic. I just believe through faith, and I want to seek the truth that the Lord gave me the chance to do this. And Marilyn, of course, is person I'm seeking to find out the truth. And so let's get started. Fleur, F-L-E-U-R, came to me through the Spirit. I just wrote all these words down. Kept my mind empty. I'm trying to not put any of my personal beliefs into this at all, so that we can link these together and see what exactly Marilyn's trying to tell us. So, Fleur, I found out, and I get my information online, by the way, after the fact. I don't research it before. I don't cheat. I just think it's a celebrity. I go into my meditation. I say my prayer and ask them to, just speak words that come into my head so that we can find out the truth by doing our own research. So, Fleur is a writer connected to Fleur magazine. She's a person who's a socialite that knew Marilyn, and Marilyn was friends with her. She married several times, and she published Flash magazine. And she obviously is an elite person who had a strong connection to Marilyn. I do have her written down again somewhere else on my record. So some of these I wrote down twice with more information, and some of them are in Greek. So, yeah, I'd like to find that for you, but I'm not really organized today, and I don't want to take up so much time. But that'll come up again with a little bit more detail. But you can look online as well. Look under Fleur, F-L-E-U-R. And she is a prestigious socialite who knew Marilyn. And she died in her older years. And very interesting woman. She's also connected to Europe, Britain, political high-end elite. And, she may, surely through reading about her, may have information linked to Marilyn. So, we'll find out more. But that's who she is. It's a real person. Would have never have known. McMara, M-C-M-A-R-A. She's an actress who overdosed, and the newspapers were saying that it was a suicide. Sounds familiar. She was acquainted to Marilyn Monroe, and she was also among high society. Eisenhower, Queen Elizabeth. She was a film star. So again, we have another actress connected to Marilyn, who supposedly, in her prime, being an actress, committed suicide. So there's a pattern here. Maybe Hollywood has something to do with a lot of these people dying. and blaming it on suicide. The next name I got is Morris. M-O-R-R-I-S-S is how I spelled it. And it's basically, he's a film star, I found out, who worked with Marilyn Monroe. And it was actually, I'm sorry, I missed the word. Morris came up under Morris Townsend, because I did get the word Townsend as well. And together, Morris and Townsend, I got them together, is a actor who played Morris Townsend in a movie with Marilyn Monroe. The real star's name is Montgomery Clift. And it's funny because I did get Montgomery and Clift separately later, and they came up twice. So, and then on a word prior to my last video, we had a gentleman whose name was Brooks, and it turned out Brooks is the brother of Montgomery Clift. I don't know these people. I didn't know they were actors and actresses. Well, Brooke isn't. He's just the brother of Montgomery Clift, and I didn't know Montgomery Clift used the name Morris Townsend in a movie that he starred with Marilyn Monroe. And then it is said that Montgomery Clift and Marilyn did not get along at all and worked on the film set. I believe it was MGM. I could be wrong on that. Don't quote me. But they had quite difficulty getting along. So, his name came up twice, so Marilyn must have an issue with him. And I had asked her, too, sometime during the session, spiritual session, if she had enemies or people that disliked her, and this name was around that, so. Also, I asked who killed her, and the name Louis Guerre came up. Now, I did Guerre before, and it came up as a pseudonym through Wikipedia. It's a person who takes on a false identity by name. So it could be a group, or the person who killed her had a false identity either before or after he killed her. Or it could be a group, two people who took on false identities. So I found that very amazing. I also found under Guerre, G-U-E-R-E, Louis. Guerre was a film star in the business under a false name. So that's basically it. There's some unfamiliar people that she did not mention because they're not going by their real name. So if you would try to look them up, you couldn't. Okay, I got the word Bill, and the only thing that came up under Bill was Bill Clinton. His 65th birthday, Lady Gaga decided to dress up as Marilyn Monroe and perform for him for his 65th birthday. So there's a connection there with Marilyn, Bill, and suddenly Lady Gaga. Maybe she appreciated that she was mimicking her. But I found that quite funny. And Perry, who is another woman who is singing and transforming Marilyn. As of today, she's a pop culture singer, Katy Perry, who is online with her new video and song dedicated to Marilyn Monroe. And I never knew this, I swear to gosh. So look it up for yourself. It's amazing how Marilyn is still seeing how people are projecting her today. It's a fascinating thing. The next word is Frank, and I connected Frank with Sinatra, which is well known. And there is another connection with Frank other than Sinatra. I have it written down somewhere else, so we'll repeat that again in a future video. So, yeah, Frank Sinatra. The next word is McMara, and I found the connection with that. She's an actress who knew Marilyn, and again, she was an elite performer who hung around the very elite, prestigious people, friends with Marilyn, but sadly she died of an overdose. Here we go with an overdose again. Through a studio, they're claiming she committed suicide, and her name is on the internet. McMara. McMarra. So you can find that out. It's very sad. She's a very well. I had her first name. She may come up again. I think I wrote her down twice. We'll get back to it. Another name, Gibbons. Gibbons was connected to Marilyn by a stamp. And in China, Marilyn Monroe was on the postage stamp, and he was the creator of the postage stamp, making plenty of money off her image with the U.S. postal stamp. Never knew that. Also, the name Jeremy, I found there's a connection with Jeremy Spencer, who worked with Marilyn and befriended her on the movie The Prince and the Showgirl. Amazing, isn't it? None of these have not come up not connected to Marilyn. So I know that it's Marilyn telling me the truth spiritually through her own words. So we have to link all these names together to sum up with the whole picture. That's what I'm sharing with you today. Another word I got from Marilyn was fortress. And, I'm thinking, okay, that must be her whole, home and all her assets. And, she has her own fortress. And around it were people. And the fortress that I came up with was Cox. And there's the name Fleur, F-L-E-U-R, which was mentioned. McMara, Jeremy. And these were the images around the fortress. The word, and it was found that they were all collecting money through Marilyn's assets after her death, and I have reports and court records of main figures that seized a lot of Marilyn's assets after she died. So we'll get into that soon enough. I never knew about it. This was all through Marilyn giving me these names. Montgomery. Okay, so I have Poppy through Wikipedia. Montgomery was Marilyn's close friend. They associated with Queen Elizabeth. She's an Australian actress, young, from the 70s. She played Norma Jean Baker in a miniseries. So I guess Marilyn's really watching who's replicating her today and appreciating it. Okay, and again, Montgomery came up as Montgomery Cliff, who acted with her. She and he despised each other, working together in a movie. And his actually role in the movie character name was Townsend. It's in the former video too, so you can go and get the answers there. Okay, the next word was Joyce and Armstrong. I came up with James Joyce. Ulysses was one of Marilyn's favorite books, but she has plenty of photos of her reading the book. That's where it took me to. So she must miss her book of James Joyce's Ulysses. And there are photos of her reading that book. And I actually read a few passages from the book. You can get it online and read it yourself. So that was interesting. The word Shaw, 1954, 20th Century Fox. Sam Shaw, Fox Studio in Los Angeles, California, were on the set of the movie Viva Zapata. Eliza Kazan, the director, was her boyfriend at the time, Marilyn's boyfriend, and asked Marilyn to drive Shaw to the set. That started a long friendship between her and Shaw. Shaw, you can find online his famous pictures that he took of Marilyn when they became friends on the set. And he is known for the famous picture he took of her in the 7-year itch with the flying white dress. Amazing. I never knew that. And there's several other photos that he's taken of her that are candid pictures that are beautiful, that he's well known for. And his name is Sam Shaw. Didn't know. Thanks, Marilyn. Another word she gave me, Wally Cox. C-O-X-X. And attached to her name with that was a film they made in 1962, and it was the last movie scene that Marilyn did with Something's Got to Give with Wally Cox. Wow, thanks, Marilyn. That must be a special. She must remember that. It was her last segment before she died. Maybe that would be of interest to you to go watch it in memory of Marilyn. Okay, we have, Joyce Armstrong, which I mentioned earlier. She came up in 1890 to 1973. She's an actor and had her ashes scattered on the Pacific Ocean Boulevard. And she is, Armstrong, get this, buried at Westwood Cemetery, American film actors. And that's where Marilyn is buried. And they were friends. So Marilyn let me know this. I never knew this person. This is all through Marilyn's words to the spirit, I swear. This is amazing. And again, James Joyce is an author of Marilyn's favorite book, The Ulysses. And that's why Joyce's name is coming up. So that's another indication that this is Marilyn speaking to the spirit. I had no idea about that. Another word that came up is C. Brooks. And again, Brooks is Montgomery Clift's brother. And he has a video on YouTube that discusses everything he knew about Marilyn and his brother and how they got along and that she was murdered and da-da-da-da-da. But Marilyn wanted me to specifically have his name come up twice, so it must be something of truth that she wants you to see. And it's a YouTube video of him discussing him, Marilyn, and his brother Montgomery Clift, and you can see that on YouTube. And he's the brother of Montgomery Clift. Okay, the word Snyder came up. I spelled it S-N-I-E-D-E-R. I had no idea what this meant. And Marilyn was friends with a man. His last name was Snyder, but he went by the nickname Whitey, and he was her professional makeup and hairstylist. Unbelievable. She must miss him. McLeod. There's a picture online of Marilyn under the name McLeod. So a person who really loves Marilyn had posted them. So her name's linked with that. Marilyn must like them too because she gave me the name. I have no idea. Beckman. We did this one earlier. Again, Beckman came up as an actress who portrayed Marilyn in the movie in later years. She was a film actress. Jamie Beckman. Lady Beckman is the name of the tiara, and gentlemen prefer blondes. Stephen Beckman designed the set of the movie with Marilyn Monroe and Henry Beckman is in the movie, and they were friends in the movie Niagara. So we have Henry Beckman, and Lady Beckman was a name given in Gentlemen Prefer Blondes, one of her famous roles. So thank you, Marilyn, for sharing that. I never knew that. Jill and Jackson came up, and basically Jackson was the creator of Lassie, and Jackson, Bill Jackson, had the movie The Eastmans, and they knew Marilyn as well. Marilyn had a lot of friends, too. I think that's why she's explaining to me her personal truth of who she was friends with and who she wasn't, and it's pretty interesting. Alright. The name Mac basically just came up as Marilyn Monroe has her own MAC makeup line, and they used her image for that, so she must be proud of that as well. This little tidbit she gave me. We're getting into some serious stuff in the next few videos of Marilyn Monroe's spirit, down to court papers and top secret forms that I received on the internet that I never knew about, so I'll share them with you soon enough in the next video. Go to video 3. We're about out of time. It's been 20-something minutes, so we'll hear more from the words and the truth of Marilyn Monroe through her spirit, in her own words, Byredlipblonde. Take care. Go to video 4. This is video 4. Bye-bye.